Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan. And the topic of this 10-minute moan is looking at the amount of money this government are giving to Palestine, but more importantly, to me, they're giving to the UNRWA. Now, the UNRWA, I've done lots of videos on them in the past, and they have got incredibly tight links to Hamas. There are suggestions in a court case in America suggesting that, and then they sacked the people, by the way, that some of their staff took part in the 7th of October incidents in Israel along with Hamas. There are reports of hostages being held in UNRWA locations. There are situations where UNRWA employees are suggested to be high up in Hamas. And almost everybody in the world stopped financially supporting UNRWA about a year ago. And some countries are now supporting them again. And the United Kingdom are one, to the tune of £41 million this year. And that is on top of that's included in the 129 million that we've already given, or going to give them this financial year. It's incredible figures. When you consider two things, you consider we took money off our OAPs because we couldn't afford to pay their £300 winter fuel allowance, and the recent legislation that now allows servicemen and service personnel families will be liable for inheritance tax for their death in service benefit. So these things would indicate that we don't have any money. If we're having to bring in money from soldiers when they pass away, from their families, and from our old folks during the winter that we're just having just now. Now, the thing that beggars belief to me is, what now, roughly how much, for example, the armed forces death and service benefit taxation would bring into the Treasury, and its figures well under £1 million, going by the amount of staff that die, working out roughly how many will be in service and how many would be liable for this tax grab. So when you think about those figures, and we're doing things to save under £1 million and really upset folk in our armed forces, it makes you wonder why and how we're able to give 129 million to another overseas country, because this isn't the only one that we give to, and given in particular £41 million to a terror-linked charity in UNRWA. So the government yesterday made these announcements. I'm just going to read out the press release that they put out and is now currently online at gov.uk. New humanitarian support for Gaza as ceasefire allows operations to scale up. The Minister for Development announces new £17 million package to support thousands of civilians across the occupied Palestinian territories. UK aid package will ensure healthcare, food and shelter across tens of thousands of civilians and support vital infrastructure across occupied territories. Now, so what they're saying really here is, we've got extra stuff we need to do now, but we've already given them before this tranche of money, we'd already given them 129 less 14, 115 million. Where's that money? What did that get used for? Right? So that, it's just the whole thing to me is a bit stinky. So there's some here, Ministry of Development Annalise Dodds announced £17 million package and reiterates the need for much more aid to enter Gaza with the support of UN agencies, including UNRWA, or UNRWA, as some people talk. It says here, the announcement brings the total UK support for the OPTs this financial year to 129 million. You know, we don't have money. We're taking money off dead soldiers' families. But we can give all this money to foreign people, but in particular 41 million to UNRWA. And it says at the bottom of this, the government's steadfast support for UNRWA, including 41 million of support this financial year, has helped the organisation deliver its humanitarian operation and provide essential services such as education, social care and vaccinations across the occupied Palestinian territories to Palestinian refugees in the region. Now, I'm not being funny, but that's 41, including take away this. I don't know how much of this 17 million is going to UNRWA, right? But some of it will, because I've already told us that. I've just not said how much. So that means up to £41 million is already been given this financial year to UNRWA to deliver what? Humanitarian operations, which you'd now tell us in this whole thing. I'm not going to read the whole thing out, but you claim that that was stopped because bad Israel wouldn't let them in. Whereas Israel have shown videos of them getting stuff ready and Hamas not letting it into Gaza. So somebody's telling lies there, and I'm not sure which one. But you're saying that this stuff didn't get in. So why did we keep pumping money into something that wasn't happening? You also claim that the money has been used to provide essential services such as education. During a war, I have to accept, that these UNRWA staff have been educating kids while we've been told there's genocide going on. I kind of don't think that's been happening. What I would also do is I would maybe consider having a look at the type of education UNRWA are delivering to the children of Gaza, because there's plenty suggestions and plenty of evidence to suggest that it's very much let's support terrorists. Okay? And the whole thing is just stinking. And I genuinely cannot for the life of me understand why. Now, listen, if the Palestinian people need money and we can afford to give them it, and we've given them it, right? I can kind of get that, but we can't afford it. However, if we could have afforded it and we had to give it, why do we need to give any of it to UNRWA? What is the love affair with them when there are other agencies there who have got no connections whatsoever to any terror groups? So if you do really need to give it to them, why not? Because you're already given, as you've said, that 41 million of the 100 and, what was the total again? Keep forgetting it. 129, right? So we're giving, what, 87 million quid to other people in Gaza. So they must be all right for you to give them that amount of money. Why not just give them it all? Why is the necessity to continue to fund this group, which was so shady? Now, let's say they'd done nothing wrong, but there's all this possibility right now, in 2 or 5 years from now, we find out they've done nothing wrong, right? Then fine, get them money then. But while this is still up in the air, and there are obviously other agencies that you can give money to, because you already gave another 80 odd million to other agencies in the area, why not just give those agencies at all? Why the urge to support this dodgy organisation? I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. And the other thing that I'm fed up with is, if the United Kingdom was Nirvana and we had paths paved with gold, and we had to, or felt obliged to, sort out other people's problems, I'd be groovy with that, right? But we're not. So why have we got this thing where we need to be sorting out other people's problems? I don't understand it. We have got a long list of problems here. You couldn't even, a 10-minute video wouldn't be enough to explain them. But we've got loads, right? We've not got enough houses, we've not got enough jobs, we've not got enough infrastructure. They could be doing with £129 million per year into that, I'm sure. Any of those things. Try and combat knife crime. That'd be a good start. That wouldn't take 129 million quid, right? But until we've got them sorted, why do we feel morally obliged to sort out the world's problems? We are not the United Nations. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you've not already done so, please hit the subscribe and the notification bell. But more importantly, give me your comments below. I like reading them. But unless you're one of these people that just wants to give all your money away and tax dead soldiers' families, no you. But
everyone else, have a great day. Cheerio, bye now.